Okay, on to Module 10, communicating different messages. Different messages should be portrayed in different manners, whichever is going to make it the easiest for the audience to understand and to accept. That's one of our goals in business communications. So the first thing we want to talk about is informative business messages. So what is an informative business message? The definition is the sharing of meaningful information between people in an unbiased and professional manner. It can be short or long, formal or casual, internal or external, meaning in our company or outside our company, direct or indirect. It promotes understanding, encourages action, stimulates thinking, and promotes ideas. It may come in the form of IMs, chats, emails, presentations, memos, blogs, podcasts, press releases, or reports. The guidelines: to get to the main point quickly, use the greeting to identify audiences, and be clear and concise. Check the message for grammatical errors. At least run spell check, but you should read it through to proofread it. And include a call to action. So short, informative messages, there's a variety of forms. Quick communication to a teammate can utilize IM technology and provide a vehicle for quick response. It's more controversial in structure and resembles chat or Twitter more than email. Long informative messages. The context of the message is the key to success. Delivery methods could be varied. Emails are the default delivery method. A blog can be used to inform about, promote, or build a brand. Presentations communicate large amounts of detailed information or graphics to convey complex ideas. Podcasts give businesses opportunities to engage in more casual conversation. Some team-focused messages. What is a team-focused message? Well, I'll tell you. Benefits are they increase the creativity due to sharing of ideas and experiences. They increase in productivity due to collaborative and empowered teams. Teams promote a wider sense of ownership. Teams encourage healthy risk-taking. Teams contribute to employee satisfaction. The key is how organizations can create proper environment and foster team creation, collaboration, and growth. Short team-focused messages. Anything from status updates to meeting requests to appreciation or meetup after work. Could be in the form of email, especially for quick file attachment sharing. It's a great vehicle to keep members informed, projects moving along, and achieve strong results. Long team-focused messages. Because they're inherently a little bit longer, you have to use a different format, such as a report, a blog, a podcast, or a document handle amount of information, but have drawbacks. The best way to send or manage could be to take advantage of collaboration software, such as programs like Stride, Slack, and Workplace, or Blackboard Collaborate. Professional criticism. There are types of criticism. People always think criticism is bad, but it can lead to a better product, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. The definition is the act of expressing disapproval and of noting problems or faults of a person or a thing. Negative thoughts can be applied to the actions of colleagues, customers, or vendors. Direct or indirect. Direct means we get to the main idea right away. Indirect means we may have to educate you a little before we get there. Constructive style, passive versus active voice, which we talked about earlier in the semester. But the goal is to improve behavior or behavioral results of a person while avoiding personal attacks and blaming. Criticism ultimately leads to a better product. So criticism of other businesses, the guidelines: you should be professional, use a direct writing structure, be clear and concise, be fair and even. I do not like to whom it may concern. You should find the person's title or write to the owner. Never should use dear sir or madam or to whom it may concern. I'm writing on behalf of the Jonas Company regarding your services at our gala. There's a typo in it. It should be at our gala last week, where your company was contracted to provide lighting for our outdoor gala. Now, it's an opening filler to start. I'm writing on behalf of. When we write business letters, it's not good form because you're writing for a reason. So it would be better to say I work at the Jonas Company and I wanted to discuss regarding your service at our gala. We are extremely disappointed with the performance of your company. First, the lighting was not consistent with what your salesperson had promised. Instead of 4 banks of spots, there were only 3, blah, 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 blah. Before you send the final invoice, we believe there should be some remuneration for lapses in your service that evening. So they're basically asking for a credit. Best regards, and so on. So you want to be professional, use direct writing structure, be clear and concise, be fair and even. Criticism of customers continued. Indirect strategy would be best. Start with complimentary language to show how valued the relationship is, because if you start off basically screaming or complaining, they're less likely to work with you. Next, give a full explanation of the matters of fact and any context that should be given. Finally, criticism or critique should be followed by a warm closing. Criticism of employees. What effective criticism should be positively intended and appropriately motivated. Should be specific, exactly what behavior is to be considered. Objective, so recipient is willing to do something. Constructive, conscious, avoiding personal attacks. Criticism must have the aim of being constructive. If something better is not going to come out of it, it's a tool that's not utilized properly is basically what it is. Can fight ideas that keep people down with ideas that unlock new opportunities. And finally, criticism of colleagues. Direct comments that behavior, not the person. Keep the tone neutral and objective. Try to include positive behaviors as well as behaviors to be improved. Suggest positive steps in resolving the issue. Okay, responding to criticism. How do you respond to criticism? Most people don't like to be criticized in any way, but some people have very negative responses to it to the point where they relatively shut down, and you don't want that to happen. So positive responses can be gratitude, questions, thank you for pointing it out to me. Can you explain to me a little better how I can make this work? Restatements, solutions, happy, initiate, and gratitude. Then the time, listen and ask for time to think it over. That's why sometimes you shouldn't respond to an email that criticizes you right away. You need to walk away and process the information they've given you. If you answer quickly, it may come off a little mean or upset. Transparency, open up, don't push away, drop it and move on. Ask for affirmation. Negative responses, it's your fault, making it personal, standing aloof, criticizing, arguing, feeling attacked, finger pointing is never good. Excuse making, denial, I'll be good enough. It delays growth, destroys progress, and loses respect. So remaining professional when you're frustrated. Professional, it means possessing knowledge and expertise, being in a positive mood, meeting obligations on time, respecting those who you interact with, and having proper language. So some techniques to help with emotional reaction to negative situations at work. First is acceptance. Step back. Like I said, step away from the computer and acknowledge your emotions. It's okay to be angry, but you shouldn't respond when you're angry. Displacement, change of scenery. Articulation, talk out the emotions with the source of issue. Improvement, understand source so it can be solved going forward. Short responses to criticism, 7 tips for dealing with criticism on social media. Get listening. Should you respond? Again, don't respond right away. Don't let negative comments linger. Always acknowledge, never deny. How to apologize. Take conversation offline and worry about the bottom line. Some long responses to criticism. Keep emotions under control and be professional and grateful no matter how you feel about criticism. Guidelines for those receiving end of criticism. Solicit all of the facts. Don't be afraid to ask for details. Acknowledge what is stated and paraphrase it to make sure you have a full understanding of what they're saying. Agree if criticism is true. Apologize if necessary. Disagree if criticism is not accurate. Be respectful. And think about finding a compromise position to alleviate concerns. Try to meet them in the middle. So a quick review of this chapter is informative messages, simply sharing of meaningful information between people in an unbiased and professional manner. The guidelines, get to the main idea quickly, use a greeting, be clear and concise, check messages for grammar errors, include call to action, Short, informative message should use I am and Twitter. Longer messages should use email, blog, presentation, and podcast. Team-focused communication is important. Critical messages make up a large segment of the business communication, active versus passive voice. In response to criticism, stay professional.